Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Ashton and Zara, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're Hidden Plastic.
How are you?
We're great, thanks. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. And if anybody follows my Instagram story, they already saw you because we met at the Eco Village in London several times, right?
Yes, yeah. That was great. It was.
It was so amazing that you were part of that. I think you were there at almost all the London shows, or at least several of them.
4 or 5 of them.
We're going to talk about the seeds you collected at the village. Was it the seeds?
The beans.
The beans, right.
To visualize PepsiCo's profit.
Great. Let's talk about that in a second. But let's talk about how you guys got started. What happened to make you do this? It's really amazing to me.
Sorry, could you repeat that? Just broke.
What happened? How did you start this? How did you two get so involved? And your enthusiasm is contagious. And I think it's so powerful for people to see. How did you get started doing this?
So we've been into plastic pollution since as far as we can remember. But in 2020, we came across Ocean Heroes Virtual Boot Camp, which is it's a place where you can, it's basically like a youth activist platform. It was a 2-day event, and that made us start Hidden Plastic.
Why did you call it Hidden Plastic?
Well, because we thought it should focus on microplastics and the plastics you don't normally see. For example, plastics shipped abroad, or microplastics, or just, hidden plastics. The plastics you don't see.
Can you explain what is a microplastic?
So a microplastic is a plastic that's less than 1 millimeter, I think. 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters. But microplastics and nanoplastics are what we focus on. So microplastics are 5 millimeters down. So they're in the air, they're in our food, and they've been found in our blood and lungs.
It's so alarming. I know people talk about them a lot, but now I think about them all the time. I think how would we know if we're near a microplastic? I know you're not a scientist, so I'm not expecting you to have the perfect answer, but on our daily life, if they're in our blood, how are they getting there? How are we consuming?
We have it from the water we drink contains microplastics. The air we breathe in contains microplastics, and the foods we eat contain microplastics. So it really comes in from a lot of places, and it's quite a big issue. Yeah, they come from, they break off the plastics when they're in the sun, they photodegrade, and then they become the microplastics that then plants, they grow them, or then inside the plants, which then gets into our food that way. They also break down in the ocean, and fish could eat it, and if you're eating fish, so not if you're plant-based, then that's a very big way that people ingest microplastics. And also in our air, so from our clothes that contain plastics, they come off and then we inhale them.
Wow. It's, I was swimming and there was a pool noodle. You know what a pool noodle is, and it was old. And I was like, microplastics, right? The tiny little bits of plastic that are coming off. I was wondering, you may not know the answer to this. If you have things like that, what do you do with them? How do you dispose of them? How do you best deal with them?
Well, it's quite a tough one. But one way that they've just discovered is that mealworms and morio worms eat the soft plastics. And they've even been like polystyrene and styrofoam, but they've even found bacterias that can eat plastic bottles. So
Wow. Sorry, that's so shocking and exciting. Technology may be the answer, or probably will be the answer. Wow. And in the meantime, if you don't have access to mealworms, et cetera, do you have any strategies for things like that?
I think what you'd want to do is kind of put it inside something that's less likely to break down and then dispose of it as you would with the rest of your waste. And then hopefully, if it gets recycled, which only 8 to 12% of plastic in the UK gets recycled, but hopefully that will be turned into new materials and products. But a lot of those plastics can't be recycled too. Oh, yeah.
So really the idea is less plastic or no plastic.
Preferably. And also try to find the way that your plastic is being disposed of, which can be quite tough. But if you are into that, that might be another way of sorting that out.
Yeah, I mean, I know people who've literally followed the recycling trucks and just seen it dumped in the landfill. You know, it's it's very challenging to have full trust in the system. I mean, I'm sure some cities are better than others. What are some of your, I mean, when you're thinking about this and talking about this all the time, like you are, can be so discouraging and depressing. How is this activism the way you're coping with that? Or are there other ways you also cope?
Well, we're solutions based. So we like to think about the solutions and have like a good balance. There's no point knowing about the problems if you don't know about the solutions, because otherwise you just get depressed. And you can't really make solutions if you're depressed. You need to be hopeful. You need to be like, there is something I can do or I can support, and that will make a change, and that could help save the world.
Wow, I have heard many people answer that question, and I have never heard it answered so well. So thank you so much. So some of the things you are recommending to people, or you hope people will do in their lives after they meet you and talk to you and follow you, what are some of those things?
Well, we would like people to go on our website, hiddenplastic.org, and there we have an email that you can send to the CEO of PepsiCo, and to tell him to sponsor the Ocean Cleanup Interceptors to stop plastic entering the ocean.
Tell us what the Ocean Cleanup Interceptors are.
So we have a cutout. An interceptor is an autonomous collection machine that goes in the worst polluted rivers in the world and kind of funnels them into the machine, where they then dispose of the plastic as well as they can. So they've currently got 7 in operation, and their aim is to get 1,000 of them, because 80% of plastic that reaches the ocean comes from 1,000 of the worst polluting rivers. So 1% of the rivers in the world causes 80% of all plastics entering the ocean. It's crazy.
Wow. So if they focused on those rivers, that could make a major impact.
That's what they're trying to do.
And tell us PepsiCo, for anyone who doesn't know, PepsiCo is?
Well, they own many food and drink companies, such as Pepsi, Lay's, basically, like, so they own, they own Doritos, Lay's, Frito-Lay's, Pepsi Cola, which includes drinks like Mountain Dew, Naked Smoothie, 7-Up, 7-Up, they're the second most plastic polluting company, food and beverage company in the world, after Coca-Cola. So we think they should clean up their mess.
After Coca-Cola, so Coca-Cola and PepsiCo. And so so they go to your website, and then there's a petition.
It's not just, it's an email that you can fill in the form, and it will send to the CEO of PepsiCo, Raymond LaGuardia, to tell him to take action for plastics.
Amazing. Okay, everyone, this is your homework today. Try to do a solution to try to stay not depressed today. Go to the website. So it's the website, hiddenplastics.org. And
hidden plastic.
Hidden plastic.
I don't know if hidden plastic.
We'll find it. We will put it on our support feed page, and I will put it here too.
Cool.
Now show us the beans. What do the beans represent at the Eco Village? What were you doing?
Now, the beans represent PepsiCo's net profit from 2021, because all that we're asking for is 1 bean and a bit. one bean and a third. So like kind of this much.
So you're
A bean
saying
and a
out of
third.
all their profits, out of everything they earned, you're asking them to spend that much to help clean up the mess.
Well, it's actually even less than that. This is their net profit. All of this money was handed out to their shareholders. So the top shareholders who invest in their company just get handed out this money. Just 1/5 of 1% of it could be like that. That could make a huge difference in stopping plastics from entering the ocean.
Hold up your bottle, would you? Because I want to make this the picture. Okay, good.
Cool.
I'm going to try to find that picture so people will know what we're talking about. You know, you are really blowing my mind because it's so impressive what you're doing, but I just want everyone who's watching to see like how this strategy of being solutions based is keeping you going, and how much you've learned and how much you're sharing and how important that is. I mean, to make a major change with a company like that would be so powerful, and you're making such a difference. And I'm so grateful to have met you. You came to those eco villages. You talked to so many people. Did you see a little rise in your following from that?
Oh, tons.
That's so great. And that is so great. Billy's has the best fans, and they are so active and they care so much. And I love that I met you. I'm so grateful to you. Is there anything else you want to share with people that for their day, or anything else you want us to know?
So as Ashton covered earlier, only 8 to 12% of plastic gets recycled. And in America, last time they checked, it was estimated only 5% got recycled. So it's not much. The rest of it gets like shipped abroad and burnt and goes to landfill. So that needs to be sorted.
When you say that number, is that the part that gets recycled? How do I say this? Is that the part that gets recycled from what is trying to be recycled, or from like all the plastic?
I think that's all of the plastic. But if you look at your home plastic, if you have that, then you can kind of look at your recycling in comparison to your non-recycling, and it can sometimes be almost the same. So sometimes your recycling can be a lot more. So it's quite surprising.
You know, one thing I've noticed is that people tend to recycle the things in their kitchen more than things in their bathroom. I think it's because in the kitchen, maybe you've set up, best special bins and you're a little more prepared. But I've noticed, and it's true in hotels and all kinds of systems I see, people don't prepare for that. And unfortunately, that's a large source of plastic too. So taking that extra step, and I know for me, one of the most important things is just finding plastic alternatives. Not using plastic, which is exciting. There are a lot of cool inventions going on. Again, technology is going to be the way. What are some of the things you all do in your own home to reduce your plastic?
So we have shampoo bars. We often have toothpaste tablets. And we for cleaner, we use these cleaner tablets that you can drop into reusable bottles. So we don't have many bathroom plastic anymore.
That's great. I use the same shampoo bars, and I have not found a good conditioner bar. Have you?
Well, we have the Grum conditioner bars. And Alternative. I'm not sure if you get that in the US.
Okay, I'm going to look at that. People can comment on this if they have one that's really good, the conditioner ones. Those are harder to find good ones.
But our one is better than most conditioner we find.
What's it called again?
Alternative, I think it is.
Okay, I'm going to check that out. Well, these little things we do matter, but these big things like the PepsiCo can do really matter, and we can influence them so much, and you're making such a difference. I can't wait to talk to you again. Come back and talk to me. Show me your next thing. This is Plastic Free July. And this is the perfect time to start instituting the changes in our own lives with plastic. Thank you so much for your inspiration and for everything you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us. This has been great.
Thank you.
So nice to meet you. And keep me posted on everything you do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.